Hi guys, it's the 7th of July 2019. I'm going to give you a technical analysis breakdown of some UK and US stocks. Let's get straight into it. It's Any, aka the Noctrader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that alert button to get alerts on all my latest videos. I've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Noctrader on all social media platforms. And if you hit that description section below, you'll see a link to my mailing list and my Discord group. If you hit that mailing list and subscribe to my mailing list, you get priority access to my free training course I'm creating for beginner traders. And if you join my Discord group, you can talk to a great community of traders and investors on all things to do with trading and investing. Anyway, let's get straight into it. So I'm back into my normal habitat after a week away in the sun. I was in Cape Verde. No vlogging, sorry, but I'm going to stick to trading in my videos. I'm not going to do no lifestyle bloggings yet. Maybe when I'm up a couple mil, I'll start doing some lifestyle bloggings, but right now sticking to the trading. Okay, so I'm just going to go through 2 UK and 5 US stocks. I'm pretty much covering all the same stocks I covered on my last video, which was last week, I think. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first one is ABF. This one I've been following for some time now. It's a descending channel pattern, broke out of the descending channel pattern, and it's just been kind of fluctuating for some time, but hasn't really made a concerted decision as to what it's going to do yet. It's still above the 180-day simple moving average, and MACD and RSI on the daily chart hasn't really given any real indication of what will happen next on the daily chart, that is. On the 4-hour chart, it might be a little bit of a different story. There's an expanding wedge pattern. Now initially when it was at the support line, I thought it might break up to the resistance line, but I waited out. I didn't take a position, and I'm happy I didn't, because now the 180-day simple moving average on the 4-hour chart is above price, and it looks like it's about to curve down, and this 180-day simple moving average is starting to act as a resistance. So what this tells me is that if it's double topped here, which it looks like it has, it might start selling off, and then this could be a short. So it could break down back to this resistance line, this support line, and if it does that, then I could potentially take a short position back down. But I'll just have to wait and see whether it kind of retraces back. I made a video on expanding wedge patterns and how to trade them, and this is just a prime example of how to trade it. Once you see it hits the resistance and goes to the middle and then retraces back, normally that means it's a bearish signal, but you can expand a bit more on how to trade these type of patterns in that video. Next one is AAL. This is one that on the daily chart, I initially clocked this one when it double bottomed here, and it looked like it was going for a long position, and I was right, but I didn't take this position. Now it looks like it's selling off. Even though it sold off quite for a couple of days, I still feel like there's still more selling off that it could do, because on the daily chart the MACD has just started making a bearish move and started turning down. The RSI is doing the same thing, and the gradients are quite steep on both of these, which tells me that I feel like it's got more selling off to do. This is just the beginning of the downtrend. It's done it here before, and it took a month to go 363 pips. It's gone 166 pips in 3 days, but I believe there's more to go. I believe it might retrace all the way back to this line. Staying true to this support and resistance on the ascending channel pattern in the long run. So this would have been a great place to enter at the top here, but I didn't. But I still think there's room for more selling off, and it's broken below the 15-day exponential moving average, which is something I always think is a good sign that you can take a position. On the 4-hour chart, yeah, the 4-hour chart isn't really telling us too much. I think be wary that there might be a little bit of a retracement here before it sells off some more, because the RSI MACD looks like they're plateauing, but I wouldn't put too much credence in that. I still think it's got more selling off to do. Now off to my US stocks. First I'm going to Tesla. Now Tesla, I actually called this out in my last video, I think, and I said it's going to spike up, and that's exactly what it did. A little bit of fundamentals that helped though. I didn't know that they were going to post some information about the fact that they'd exceeded expectations when it comes to production, something like that. But that helped it as well. But just straight off the technicals, the fund technicals, it looked like it was gonna climb up, and that's exactly what it did. It shot up and now it's retraced back down to this old kind of support and old resistance. And I don't think the bullish move is over. I think once it retraces down there, it will carry on going up. But yeah, this little long position here, I actually took a long position, but I exited it pretty early because I found I didn't want to hold it. I wanted to rather take another position elsewhere. But it did do what I said it was going to do. It went up. If you watch my last video to see my prediction on the Tesla spike, I actually thought it was going to retrace all the way back, climb all the way back to $260. But it may still do that because just because it's retraced for 2 days, it needs to ebb and flow. It's not going to go all the way there in one quick move. It might take some time. So, but it still looks bullish from what I see on the 4-hour chart. The 180 simple move average is under price. It looks like it's curving up, so I expect it to carry on climbing up and find its way back to $260. Next one is crude oil. This is the one I think I want to take a position in. Now, crude oil is a quite complicated stock to trade just off technicals. You can't really get away with just technicals because there's so much fundamental information that dictates the movement of oil, because oil is a commodity that's probably the most coveted commodity out there, because it powers everything really. And then there's so much political aspects that go into oil prices, so including the OPEC meetings, things like that. So I don't know, I'm not going to lie to you and pretend I've done all the reading up. I might do some afterwards. I should have done some before, to be honest. But straight just off technicals, I remember before I said that it looked like it might retrace back down, but this is before I read up a little bit and I saw that OPEC meetings and lots of things people were saying that it could climb up, and the technical started matching what I was being told. I'll never go off of just information of other people. I'll obviously do my own research, but it's kind of started to change direction. The 180-day simple moving average has come below price, and it looks like it could potentially make a break above this kind of expanding descending wedge. Once it hits that line, if it breaks out of it, then I can see it hitting at least $62. So this could be a potential long position. And then yeah, the MACD, RSI all kind of telling me the same thing as well. Next one is CXO. So this, it looks like I'm changing my mind on a lot of these trades, but what it is that it's like what's that saying? If you have 10 hours to cut a tree, spend 9 hours sharpening your axe, and then spend 1 hour cutting the tree. You need to just wait and see how positions play out before you enter. Otherwise, you can find yourself on the wrong side of the trade very easily. So, for example, CXO, I initially thought, I changed my mind on this about 3 times, but I haven't entered the trade, so it doesn't matter that I've changed my mind. But I initially thought, if you look at a couple of days ago, I said that I initially thought that this was going to sell off. When it was here, it's going to sell off down to and carry on the descending channel pattern, because the 180-day simple moving average was curving down. Everything just looked like it was a sell. But then I found that I didn't look at the weekly chart, and in the weekly chart there was this support that had been created at kind of the 9779 point here, and it hadn't been. They've been trying to break it several times, but failing. And when I saw that, it made me realize that it was struggling to break below the support. So, and because of that, I saw that maybe it might actually be, this might be the bottom of this descending channel pattern. It looks like it might break out to the upside. And now on the 4-hour chart, the 4-hour chart kind of corroborated what I thought. So it hit the resistance line of the descending channel pattern, hit it again, so double topped, came back down to this support line that I said that it's been trying to break, and now it looks like it's going to climb up. So what I expect would be for it to finally make a final attempt at breaking out of this resistance and successfully do so, and it'll start climbing up. So I'd say a long position would be the way to take this, and then set the stop loss just below this support line here. The risk to reward would be pretty good as well. So it would be like you'd be risking 300 pips to make potentially 700. So maybe 2 to 1, just a little bit over 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio, which is good. EA, Electronic Arts, the gaming company. So this one has been a bit of a mess. To be honest, I'm not gonna cover this because I don't like the way it's been moving. To be honest, it's just kind of the way it's been moving is kind of, it's not the way I expected it to move. So I'm kind of a bit gobsmacked. What's the word? Befuddled. Don't know what to use. Yeah, I'm not gonna cover this. I don't like this. I'm gonna actually delete this off my list. And last but not least, JetBlue. JetBlue was the one that had a little speculative. This is a bit more of an imaginative way of looking at this chart, but it looked like it's doing exactly what I said. JetBlue on the weekly chart has been, it's bottomed out here and then it's climbed up, but it hasn't made the easy journey. It's been ebbing and flowing. So even though it's been making a bullish move over the long run, you can see a little bit of like a bowl formation coming here. So it went down and now it's coming back up, but it's not coming back up in like an orderly fashion, in a straight fashion. It's going up a couple of weeks, coming down a couple of weeks, going up a couple of weeks, and the ebbs and flows have become a bit more pronounced and a bit quicker each time. So it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks to come down. Took 2 weeks to go up, took 2 weeks to go down. So this one, I can see it going up pretty fast within a week or so, and it's kind of stuck true to this kind of pattern. On the daily chart, this is where it gets really interesting. You can really plot out where it's going to hit this bottom just based on using Fibonacci. So I use Fibonacci from the bottom here to this recent peak, and it kind of, the purple boxes kind of denote where where it was going to hit its base before climbing up again. And I pretty much predicted where the bottom was going to be. I was off by like a couple of pips, but for the most part I was right, and it started climbing. And I think based off of this information, the next high that it's going to hit is $21 based off of my estimation. So even though it's climbed already 100 pips in a couple of days, I still feel like it's got another 150 pips to go, and it shouldn't take too long to get there, given that the climbs that it's been making has become more pronounced and in a shorter space of time as it's gone along. So it took 14 days to go 266 pips before, and before that it took 1 month to go 325 pips. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets here in a matter of like 2 weeks or so, if not less. So yeah, that's me, Annie, aka the Noctrader, signing out.